think what is essential is to have well-functioning, accountable, transparent government structures. It's also, I think, on the level of the society, extremely important to prevent social exclusion or economic or cultural exclusion of segments of the society. I think the coherence of the whole society is extremely important factor of preventing internal tensions that might lead to conflict. It's also extremely important, and I would like to particularly stress that, to promote women's participation in all levels of society, including political decision making. I believe these are principles that we have observed and practiced in Estonia, also principles that we have promoted among our partners and friends on the international arena. Obviously, it's also important to work with, as a responsible partner of the international community, to work with your partners, with your neighbors, in order to, well, strengthen the rules-based international order. Estonia is this year celebrating 100 years since the establishment of the independent Republic of Estonia. And out of this 100 years, well, we have had to live under foreign occupations for a considerable number of years. And we joined the United Nations immediately after regaining our independence in the early 1990s. And I believe that we have seen that the United Nations really is the primary framework organization of this rules-based multilateral world order, and we believe that this world order has served us extremely well and has allowed us to develop to the state that we are at today, and we believe that it's definitely worth the effort to try to preserve and, where possible, to improve this world order, multilateral rules-based order, and UN as its framework organization. Preventing crises from happening can be achieved at a fraction of the cost that would be involved in conflict resolution. So I think that it's very important to focus on conflict prevention. And when it comes to sustaining peace, I think that the Peace Building Commission has been doing an incredible work. We could observe it firsthand when we were members of the Commission over the last year. But really, I believe that there are also ways to improve its performance. I think that we should look at the ways to broaden its mandate so as to allow it to work with all the cross-cutting issues. And I think that we could also, or should also look for ways to strengthen its advisory role, both when it comes to the General Assembly as well as the Security Council and ECOSOC. So I think that while it's doing very valuable work, there are also ways to strengthen it and develop it. I think another issue that needs to be mentioned is funding for the peace building effort. Obviously, it's crucial to secure predictable, stable funding for the important work that we are collectively doing through the UN. Estonia has been contributing to the Peace Building Fund for the past 5 years, and we really believe that it does have an impact on the ability of of the UN in general, and also Peace Building Commission in particular, to carry out the important tasks in that important area. Well, I think it's a very important set of proposals, and well, when we look at the three main pillars of the UN, peace and security, development, human rights, I think that we really need more integration of those three mandates and less fragmentation. Obviously, none can be achieved without actually being able to also achieve success on the other two. So I think that this is one of the key messages that we should seek to put into practice, so implement. I think that what we truly need is a very good coordination of what we do as the United Nations by way of peace operations and peace building, and on the one hand, and development and humanitarian assistance on the other, so as to see a stable, sustainable transition from the peacekeeping phase of the attempts to resolve a conflict to the reconstruction and development phase that inevitably needs to follow. So we have, I believe that we have a very good set of proposals in front of us, and now it's up to the member states to actually see that those good proposals are really put into practice and implemented.